සංසාර සාරෝග විනීතනීසං සන්නේත සාතං සුචිසාරදේසං සන්දේරකං ස්වන්න තනුපලාසං සංලාපදේසෙන් පනමේ විසාසං නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. Homage to the Exalted One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Venerable sirs, nuns, friends in the Dhamma. At this moment, we have to discuss one of the steps of the Noble Eightfold Path, which is Sammāvācā, right speech. That is very important for our social life, educational life, and spiritual life as well. This is the place where we show our skills in our personality. Before Sammāvācā, right speech, we have to cultivate right understanding and right intention. Right understanding means whatever we do with intention, we will have the same results. If our mind is polluted, the results are negative, suffering follows us. Whenever our mind is pure and calm, our activities are correct, happiness follows us. This is the first step of right understanding. With this understanding, we cultivate our intention, right intention. We have correct vision. As soon as we come to this understanding, immediately we can see a very high discipline in our speech. We protect our words. Automatically it happens. When we come to the Noble Eightfold Path, we should understand there is a difference between Magga and Magga Sancaya. The path and the noble path of purification. What is the path? The path means the way how we go to a blissful life, how we succeed this life, how we fulfill our duties and responsibilities, how we make our friends in this life. This is the Magga. Everyone can understand it. There is no difference. In the educational field and other fields, we can see this discipline. Here we think there is a world around us. When we are in the society, we should have a discipline. That is why we speak and behave very carefully. But, dear friends, here we come to Buddhism. In the highest level, based on the supramundane level, based on the ultimate truth, we come to see that Sammāvācā, Sammākammanta, and Sammā-ājīva belong to Sammā-sila, Sila Sangha. Right speech, right action, and right livelihood belongs to Sīla-khandha, the category of virtue. Here we have correct understanding about the world. What happens to the world? Always the world arises and ceases according to our senses. We experience the world according to our senses, eye, ear, nose, soul. Our senses depends on our mentality, our perception. According to our perception, mentality and karmic energy, we always, every moment, we create our senses. For an example, now you are pleased to me, since I am very harmful. But if I blame you with some harsh words just now, what happens to you? Your mind changes. According to your mental situation, your senses immediately cease, immediately change. Then your perception is completely different. But my form is same. This physical body consists of 4 fundamental elements. According to your perception, your senses change. According to your senses, you perceive the world. This is the nature of our life. With this understanding, we realize that the world is created by ourselves at the present moment. With this understanding, we find the path. That path is the path of purification, the path of the noble path. There we practice Sīla, a virtue, in order to realize this reality. Here we practice Sīla not because of fear in the world, but this Sīla focuses on Samadhi, Sammā-ājīva Sīla. This virtue, this discipline in our speech and behavior focus on our spiritual life. We practice Sīla in the mundane level. We practice 5 precepts because of the environment or society, not to disturb others. But here, when you come to 𝐓𝐢𝐩𝐢𝐭𝐚𝐴, the Noble Eightfold Path, when you practice right speech for the benefits of your Sammā, your concentration meditation. This Sīla, this virtue is appreciated by noble ones. Arya-kanta Sīla. Arya-kanta means appreciated by the noble ones. This Sīla is Sammā-ājīva. This virtue or moral conduct focuses on our concentration meditation. Here we find 3 disciplines in our life, in our spiritual life: Sīla, Samadhi, and Panya. 𝒮𝓾 Bhagavata Dhammo. Dhamma is well expounded by the Blessed One. Ādhi-kalyānam, excellent is beginning. Madhya-kalyānam, excellent is the middle. Pariyosāne-kalyānam, excellent is the end. What's the beginning? Beginning is Sīla. Sīle patiṭṭhaya naro sapañño, cittam paññanta bhāvayam. The wise person practices samatha and vipassana, or tranquility meditation and insight meditation based on virtue, morality, discipline in our speech and behavior. When we come to the right understanding in the supramundane level, with the understanding of the Four Noble Truths, Sila helps tranquility or concentration. Samadhi or samatha concentration helps wisdom. These three things are interrelated. Virtue, samadhi, and panya or wisdom are interrelated. Here we always focus on samadhi. We like to concentrate our mind in the present moment, reducing hindrances, improving rapture, happiness and joy. Then we always protect our mind. Here especially as soon as we come to Sammā-ājīva and Sammā-sammākammanta, immediately we come to the discipline of speech. Buddhism has explained highly the philosophy of language philosophy. Discipline in our speech. We can see a very huge difference when we come to the Dhamma. When we associate a person, we can see how much he is going on the path of liberation, seeing his speech. Here, Sammāvācā is explained in 4 steps. Musāvādā veramani, abstaining from false speech or lying. And Pisunāvācā veramani, abstaining from malicious speech or slandering. And Parusāvācā veramani, abstaining from harsh speech. And Sampapalāpa veramani, abstaining from useless words. Here we should understand the root of these miswords. What is the cause of lying or false speech? Craving is the reason or cause of lying or false speech. What is the cause of slandering or malicious word? Anger. What is the cause of harsh word? Anger. What is the cause of foolish words, useless words? Ignorance or delusion. You know, it is very difficult to find the wisdom of a person, but when a person speaks useless words a lot, we can understand he is not wise. The more we are ignorant, the more we use useless words. You know, now we are heading to Samatha Bhavana, purifying our mind from hindrances, developing the facts of jhana such as joy, happiness, rapture, and so on. Now our dream is samatha concentration. For the samatha, we should have highest discipline in our speech and behavior. Without this discipline, we can't enter the concentration or jhana levels. There are these three things are very important. Sammāvācā, right speech, Sammākammanta, right action, and Sammākammanta, Sammā-ājīva, right livelihood. These three things belong to Sila or virtue. When we come to this level, Dhamma explains, 𝒮𝓾 ℒ𝒶𝓃 We don't do any slight wrong conduct which is concerned by the wise. You know, the standard of your speech depends on right intention or Sammā-sankappa. The standard of right intention depends on right understanding. The standard of right understanding depends on who you associated with, what you listen to. Association means not living together, but what you listen to. According to your association, you are listening to Dhamma. The standard of your listening decides your path. If a person says that you live only one day, next day the same time you will die. If a person says that, what do you do within this next day? What do you do? Do you run fast? No, nowhere you have to run. What do you do next 24 hours? What do you do within this day says what you have heard. It means whom you associated with. Here, we should have the highest level association, what we listen to. There, we should find the path, especially the Noble Eightfold Path. Next, we can understand the practices Metta, Bhavana and mindfulness. Finally, we have to practice reflecting on impermanence of arising and ceasing of faculties. Our spiritual dream is to overcome suffering completely. Whenever our mind depends on the material world, it means we are in suffering. We have to face the suffering of decay, suffering of sickness, suffering of death, suffering of separation. Our spiritual dreams should be overcome these sufferings. For that, we have to release from the material world. It doesn't mean that you should go to a forest or a monastery, living at home. You can overcome suffering. How do we do it? By practicing insight meditation, by cultivating wisdom, we can overcome ignorance. If our mind doesn't depend on any material thing in this world, it means we have overcome suffering. Whenever we depend on the material world, that means we are in avidya, ignorance. Avidya-paccaya sankhara, sankhara-paccaya vijnana, and so on. With the arising of ignorance, mental formations arise. With the arising of mental formations, then consciousness arises. With the arising of consciousness, mentality and corporality arises. Vijnana-paccaya nama-rupan. Finally we go. Bhava-paccaya jati, jati-paccaya jara-mara. With the arising of the process of becoming, bhava, birth arises. With the arising of birth, decay, sorrow, sickness, death, separation, all the sufferings arise. Whenever we are ignorant, our mind depends on somewhere. It means we consist with suffering. If we know every moment we create the world arising and ceasing of five aggregates, we don't have any place for depending on. It means we are away from ignorance. Avidyayatve vasiyasya viraga nirodha sankhara nirodho, sankhara nirodha vijnana nirodho. With the complete cessation of ignorance, mental formations cease. With the cessation of mental formations, their consciousness ceases. With the cessation of consciousness, mentality and corporality gradually cease. As a result of this path of liberation, finally we go to Bhava Nirodha, Jati Nirodho, Jati Nirodha, Jara Marana, Soka Parideva, Dukkha Dogana Sukhayasa Nirodhanti. By the cessation of the becoming of process, birth ceases. As a result of the cessation of birth, decay, sickness, death, pain, grief, all sufferings cease. With this understanding, we practice Sammāvācā, right speech. We have the highest disciplinary speech. Always we know this path, that is Sutameya-paññā, the wisdom of hearing. Not only that, we are thinking of it. Cintameya-paññā, the wisdom of thinking of it. When we think of this spiritual message, we can't speak useless words. Since we have a very special spiritual duty inside, how do we say useless words? Always we are contemplating on Dhamma. Even though we don't practice sitting meditation, we are contemplating on Dhamma. Always our mind is filled with the Dhamma, with the spiritual faculties, enlightenment factors, Four Noble Truths, 5 spiritual faculties, 7 enlightenment factors. All the spiritual faculties work inside. Then automatically we have discipline in our speech. We abstain from foul speech, abstaining from malicious word, abstaining from harsh word, abstaining from foolish words, useless words. Since we need to enter the samatha or concentration. Samatha is the very safety place where we can live without suffering. With a concentrated mind, we reflect on impermanence as wisdom, paññā. We always reflect on impermanence of our mentality and corporality, or mind and body. Finally, we practice reflecting on impermanence of 5 aggregates, Rupa, form, Vedana feeling, or Vedana sensations, Sanya perception, Sankhara mental formations, and Vijnana consciousness. Whatever we experience and understand, it means these five aggregates arise at the moment. But we can see it. We understand these five things through listening to Dhamma. We see just a chair, a person, a mic, a monk. We recognize these things, but the undergoing thing that these five things. When we see iceberg, we can see only few things upon the water. But down the water we can see many things of the icebergs. Like that. We see a person or thing in the outside world. The bottom level of this experience is that the five aggregates. When we recognize the five aggregates, we can understand what happens to the thing which is in the upper water. On this path, we continue our discipline in speech. That is said as in the Noble Eightfold Path, Sammāvācā, right speech. Right speech is divided into four: abstaining from foul speech, abstaining from malicious speech or slandering, abstaining from harsh speech, and also abstaining from useless words. Okay, friends, in Dhamma, we are discussing the Noble Eightfold Path. When we come to right understanding, we come to right intention as soon as we come to right speech. We have right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and finally right concentration, Sammā-samadhi. When we practice Sammā-samadhi, we come to equanimity. We live equanimously. That belongs to the mundane level. But we come to the next level, the supramundane level, which belongs to 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃, the part of the enlightenment factors. In the jhana level, we have sukha and piti, rapture and happiness. And there also we can see equanimity, อุเบกขา, ekaggata, fourth jhana. When we come to the higher level in the spirituality, based on the Noble Eightfold Path, there we come to Samadhi Sambojjhanga and อุเบกขาSambojjhanga. The enlightenment factor of tranquility or concentration and the enlightenment factor of equanimity. Their equanimity is the highest level equanimity. When we see the arising and ceasing of our mentality and corporeality, there we come to equanimity, seeing the world reality as it is. That is the sankhara อุเบกขาඥාන, the knowledge of seeing the arising and ceasing of all the mental formations. Okay, friends in the Dhamma, let's gradually go forward on this path, receiving happiness and joy. Day by day, we are letting go from suffering, and also we are reaching the spiritual happiness in this immediate life. When we practice Dhamma, immediately we come to the experience of happiness. As soon as you practice Sila, you can see the results. When you practice Samadhi, you can see the results in this immediate life. And also when you practice mindfulness, Sati, immediately we can see the results, overcoming suffering. As soon as we see something, we hear something, we smell something, we feel something, if we know that the material world has already ceased, I recognize everything through my mind consciousness. That mind consciousness also arises and ceases at the moment. This is impermanent. Okay, friends in the Dhamma, always be aware of your Sati Nimitta, the sign of mindfulness. Don't be away from this Sati Nimitta. When you are with the Sati Nimitta, you can apply it to the highest knowledge that already you have received. Whenever you are living with the Sati Nimitta, you live in the present moment. It means you can remember anything which happened in the past or which will happen in the future. It doesn't matter, but you know very well now you live in the present moment. Whenever we live with mindfulness, it means we are getting the results of this valuable life. Since we live in the present moment. But we have lost this present moment because of our ignorance. Our mind always lives in the past or future. That is why we have lost the beauty of our life. The beauty of our life depends on this present moment. Living in the present moment based on mindfulness. There, breathing meditation plays a very special role. Buddhism always appreciates mindful breathing in and out. Ānāpānasati Bhavana. Breathing in and out with awareness. We are aware of our breathing in and out, very naturally breathing in and out. This is the highest meditation technique for our Samatha and Vipassana Bhavana. Based on Ānāpānasati Bhavana, we can practice both Samatha and Vipassana or the concentration and insight meditation. Finally, we made the very pleasant meditation object, which is breathing in and out. Mindful breathing. Our breath is given by our mom. If you want to pay your gratitude for your parents, practicing mindful breathing is the highest way. Whenever you practice mindful breathing, you are happy. Whenever you are happy, your parents are also happy, whether you are living or not. Whenever they are living or not in this world, wherever they are looking at you, they are happy when you are happy. If you want to make your parents happy, please practice mindful breathing. You don't need to give dana or anything for your parents. You don't need to share merit with your parents. As soon as you come to practice with mindful breathing, you are doing your duty for your parents. Your parents always wanted to make you happy. When you are happy, they are also happy. No matter where they are happy. Okay, by breathing meditation, Ānāpānasathi Bhavana, we can concentrate our mind in the present moment. With the concentrated mind, we can practice insight meditation, reflecting on impermanence of five aggregates, rupa, form, vedana, sensations, sanya, perception, sankhara, mental formations, and vijnana, consciousness. Every moment, our whole experience is that these five aggregates arise at the moment, they cease at the moment. With this understanding, we release from the material world. At the same time, when we reflect on the impermanence of our mentality, we release from even our mind object and mind consciousness too. Okay, this is the path that we are discussing as the Noble Eightfold Path. Day by day, we are going forward on the liberation. Okay, for that I wish you all the best. By the power of listening to this message, I wish that may your all spiritual goals meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain the supreme bliss of liberation. Sabbe sankhara anicchāti yada paññāya passati atanibbindati dukkhe 𝐂𝐻𝐿𝐵𝐻𝑚aggo visuddhiyā. All conditioned things are impermanent. He who sees this reality with wisdom overcomes suffering. This is the path to purity. Sabbe sankhara dukkhaati yada paññāya passati atanibbindati dukkhe 𝐂𝐻𝐿𝐵𝐻𝑚aggo visuddhiyā. All conditioned things are dissatisfactory. He who sees this reality with wisdom overcomes suffering. This is the path to purity. Sabbe Dhamma anattāti yada paññāya passati atanibbindati dukkhe 𝐂𝐻𝐿𝐵𝐻𝑚aggo visuddhiyā. All phenomena are selfless. He who sees this reality with wisdom overcomes suffering. This is the path to purity. Sadhu, sadhu.